Let me know when you're ready. Oh, okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Paulo. I will be your leader this morning. Hopefully you're having a good long weekend for those of you here in the United States, and for you afar, well, just a short weekend, but I hope you're having a good time as well. I'll get started with a little bit of what we're going to do today. We're going to be meditating, generally speaking, in two formats of meditation. The first one being a breath-focused meditation. So we're going to be just breathing in and out and paying attention to our breath. There's a number of places that we might be able to pay attention to your breath. You know, the obvious one is just the nose as it comes in and out, the expansion of the lungs. And if you're focusing on the lungs, I can give you some tips on just paying attention to your chest, to the back, so that there's a full inhalation and you're on like the circumference of your chest. Or maybe you want to do it deeper in your belly and just feel that in your belly, and that's okay. It's really just about having an object of meditation, right? So having something to pay attention to. It doesn't have to be the bread. In this case, it'd be the bread, but enough to a breath, but enough to an object of meditation could pretty much be anything that we can pay attention to. And that's really just something we're focusing on for a prolonged period of time, right? We set a time that we want to focus on something, and we train our mind to just focus on that, right? Our mind will go away and think about random stuff, and that's okay because we have mind and thoughts. And we're just really training to bring back our attention over and over to whatever that object is, in this case, our breath. So I think, from a very technical, like nuts and bolts kind of thing, that's really what we're doing, is we're just really trying to focus on a thing. That's the how. I think the why to me has always been more interesting. Like, why do we pay attention? Like, why do we sit here for 20 minutes every morning and breathe? I think we do it because our minds are so scattered, right? Like our minds are continuously being pushed and pulled in all these directions, especially in the world we live in. The news is on, somebody from work wants our attention, the dog is barking, social media is pulling you in a million and one directions. And it often feels like we don't have control of our mind, that we don't have a choice to what we're paying attention to. And in a way, allowing ourselves to meditation is giving ourselves the gift of choosing what to pay attention to. The more we do it, the more skilled or mindful we get at it, or habituated around being able to pay attention to what we choose to pay attention to, will allow us to choose, right? Like not get pushed and pulled by external factors that want us to feel dissatisfied, buy the next thing, get angry about some political thing here or there. The content doesn't really matter, right? But there's this forces external to us that would like to hold our attention. They even monetize it these days. So meditation is kind of that gift that we can give to ourselves to regain control over our own attention, right? So a little bit of practice, it seems like sometimes it can get like, oh, I have this meditation, it's isolated, and I just do this in the morning, and that's what I do. But I think thinking about how it affects our day-to-day life, and thinking about how do we integrate it into our day-to-day life, is interesting, but I think more importantly, it helps keep us motivated to come back to meditation over and over again. I think if we don't know why we're doing it, it's very easy to lose track. And that's the case for most things in life. If we don't have a good reason to be doing it, why not drop it, right? Furthermore, and we'll do a little bit of a prayer here before we start. Most Buddhist traditions, as I know it, all Buddhist traditions, but there's always an outlier that I don't know about, or, we meditate and we practice with the intention not only to benefit ourselves, but benefit others around us, right? So we have this compassionate intent, this altruistic, empathetic motive to meditating. So, as we get better with our attention, we can also choose to give it to how we react to those around us. And hopefully we started moving to a more compassionate way. but also with the intention that as we were able to pay more attention, we can be of more benefits to those around us. So I don't need to force you to listen to me talk anymore. We'll just get going with our aspirations. So this is just a look at from the Buddhist perspective. This is from Shantideva, the Way of the Bodhisattva author, and it's just about why we practice Buddhism. And I think it's common, at least in Mahayana, and that's at the top of the group practice aspiration. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near, turn those far. And with that motivation and your own motivation, we'll start meditating. So using your breath to connect with your body, which is always in the present time. I like to imagine that my attention rides from my nose down to my belly as I just arrive here and now. Start to notice your body, the movement of your breath. Just to start out with, it's good to do a bit of a body scan and notice if there's any excess tension in the body that has built up through the week or through the day or maybe through the year. There's really not a specific place to start with that, but I think from a logistical standpoint, it's good to start with the top of the head. Just noticing if there's any excess tension there. And breathing out and letting go. Noticing the eyes and the nose and the jawline. Maybe moving your jaw around from side to side to let go. Moving on to the ears and the shoulders, just letting your shoulders drop away from your ears and relax as you exhale. And I'm going through a little bit fast, but please feel free to take your time in any of these. If there's a sticky place or a specifically, maybe uncomfortable, even painful place, feel free to take a little bit of time breathing into that area. Not literally breathing into an area, right? It's just the imagination of inviting some breath into a particular area of our body to build out space. And then the exhale allows that area to relax. So it's more about bringing your attention there than it is about literal breath coming in and out. Hopefully through this, you're finding yourself more comfortable inside your own body. And now, just a resting place for now, just through the breath, connecting to it. Then as we settle here in our bodies, we tap into 3 pillars of support that are always with us. The first one being the ground itself, earth, right? It's always holding us without any judgment, without any expectation. We are held by the gravitational pull of earth. This gravitational pull means that wherever you're sitting on the surface of earth, your spine, your center, is always in line with the center of earth. So allowing to feel settled and held by gravity on this planet. Moving on to the internal pillar, which is our skeletal structure, our spine. Noticing also in our structure of how we sit, whether we're in a chair or we're on the ground on a mat, our sits bones connect to the ground, and from there, our vertebrae stack one on top of another, building the structure that allows us to sit and be held here um, relatively rigidly. So we're trying to find here a structure that is not too tense, but it's also not falling asleep, right? So maybe you can move back and forth, side to side, and finding a place where your spine comfortably sits on top of your sits bones, stacking one on top of another until you get to your cervical spine. And there's a tendency to pop our heads up, but just allowing our chin to tuck in a little bit so that the cervical spine has a straighter line with the rest of our spine, and it's more easeful on our neck. There's also, it's said from the yogis that it allows for energy to flow better, and we get less sleepy, we get less distracted. So just feeling into that internal support of our bones, our spine. And then the third pillar is our central channel, right? This goes along the central channel of the body being the spine, and a more subtle level within the spine, we have the nervous system, right? That's kind of the main line for our brain to connect to everything else. And in traditional, Indian yoga and Tibetan practices, we believe that this is where our consciousness resides, right? In the central channel of the body. So just noticing how that energetically allows us to feel our body, feel our breaths, and supports us in the consciousness being internally in our bodies. I also like to remind myself and y'all that we have a bonus pillar here when we come and sit together, which is the support of the Sangha, of the spiritual community, whether it's online or physically. We also support each other's practices and encourage it. There's always a strength in community. So it's also feeling supported by those around us. I'm noticing when we get distracted away from our breath. Maybe you're thinking about the groceries or what you have to do later. Let go of that. It's not going to get done right now. Just nudging your attention without judgment, without fighting the distraction, but just allowing yourself to come back to your breath. Maybe you notice that your mind's particularly agitated today. I encourage you to take a long breath out, holding it out for a couple of seconds, and just breathing back in and allowing your mind to settle a little bit through the breath, using the exhalation to calm yourself down, calm your mind down. I have found it to be useful. It might not work, it might work for you. Just bring some curiosity into it. Conversely, if you're feeling dull and tired, inhaling, a deep inhale and feeling your lungs up all the way up to your collarbones. And then holding your breath for a couple seconds and allowing your body to oxygenate, bring some liveliness. The ancient yogis of India already knew this thousands of years ago, but now through science we understand that doing these either oxygenates or deoxygenates your body, dropping your heart rate or increasing your heart rate in such a way that allows for wakefulness or to calm down the nervous system a little bit. And we'll do a couple of minutes of chanting meditation with a syllable hum. I will get us started, and I invite you to unmute yourself or join me in just chanting just a hum about twice per breath, just paying attention to the vibration of the sound itself, just as another different object of meditation that's not our breaths. Just noticing that had a different effect on your attention at the breath. There's no right answers to it, just important to pay attention and notice. As the sensation of chanting passes, just bring your attention gently back to the breath. Noticing the expansion of the chest, of the belly, and the relaxation that comes with the exhale. Maybe riding the breath to attention to the do, which is the energetic center of our bodies, about 2 finger widths down from our navel and 2 finger widths in. If that is compelling, if not, wherever it is comfortable for you to pay attention to your breath, that's okay. As distraction arises, whether it's a thought or a sound, the tendency is to either chase or reject it, push it away. Unfortunately, either of these doesn't actually yield the desired result of being able to come back to the point of attention, so it's better not to try to fight it or try to grasp at it, but just come back to the breath, allow the distraction to be. And with time, like everything else, it subsides. And just a reminder that distractions are not a problem. Your thoughts are not a problem. You have a mind, you have thoughts. You hear sounds, you have a body, you see things. That's okay. Do not build an unhealthy aversion towards them, especially around meditation. In reality, they're interesting tools for us to practice our attention and continue to come back to the chosen object. It's okay for it to happen. I've heard said that a true master is not that who does not get distracted, but who's able to come back over and over again to the attention, to the object of attention. So I just trying to make sure that people don't think that there's something wrong with getting distracted. That is okay. It happens. But the practice is to come back to that object of attention. In this case, the breath. Just noticing your state of mind, state of your body. attention back to the breath. We'll take a short break and come back to a little bit more meditation. Are there any questions with regard to the practice or from online? I always like to remind people that this practice that we do here is not something that we just should only be done here, right? It's something that we could take home if it works for you. It's an important tool, whether you apply it in the mornings or you want to apply it in the middle of the day or after a stressful situation. It's always available to you. It doesn't have to be 20 minutes. It can be 5 minutes. Sometimes short sessions are actually more powerful because it keeps the attention fresh, or we don't fall into distractions as easily. I've heard said that in monk training in Tibet, they do many short practices, right? They're continuously breaking up their practice so that there's no dullness that kicks in. So I take that as permission to say, hey, I have 2 minutes. I'm going to meditate for 2 minutes, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be, I got to sit down for half an hour, and if I don't have half an hour, I can't meditate. Anything goes. I mean, not anything goes, but any meditation is better than no meditation. Sometimes short meditations can be more fruitful than really long ones. So don't be deterred by, if you have 5 minutes to look at Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you probably have 2 minutes to breathe. Not meant to shame anybody or force anybody to do anything they don't want to. Just saying, it's okay to do short meditation. I forgot to say earlier about this particular meditation was given to Anne. Anne is one of our teachers, along with Harvey, by their teacher in Tibet, Atsum Rinpoche. He's known as probably the foremost Dzogchen master in Tibet today that is alive, and he does a ton of work. He's really like a powerhouse of goodness for the people of Tibet and the people of China, and he tries to also give practices to us as Westerners that are more model to us. So when Anne asked Atsum Rinpoche to give her something that was really accessible but still profound, this is the practice that she received, which is paying attention to the breath with the 3 pillars, and then moving to this chanting meditation. And I don't know, I think everybody has a different experience of it, but at least from a personal standpoint, it feels like the simplicity of the practice itself does not take anything away from the power or the effectiveness of it. So I think that's pretty cool. I hope everybody else does too. Yeah, we'll stretch for a couple of minutes. and we'll come back here in, say, 7 minutes. Oh, and I forgot to say, if you want, so we dedicate our merit to all sentient beings, but also, just like in many other religion-based or spiritual-based communities, we dedicate to specific people that we might think that they need an extra humph in life, whether they've passed away or they're going through some illness or some tough times. So for those of you online, if you send in the names, we can capture them in the book names and then dedicate them at the end. I think you might have dropped the Skype. I think your Skype might have dropped out. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we'll do a little bit, about 10 minutes more of breathing meditation and one round of chanting. And then we'll do dedication and some announcements. So once more, riding your breath to allow your attention to come back into your body. I like to think of my body and my breath as coming back to home when my attention inhabits them, as opposed to the external world where we're all chasing squirrels, for lack of a better term. So coming back here now to our bodies, to our breaths. The more we do it, the more it feels like home. As we come home to our bodies, we are reminded of the three pillars that support us. That is earth, that is our spine and bones and skeletal structure, and our central channel. Feeling supported for the meditation, allow us to sit, pay attention, and be alive here and now. Noticing if any tension has crept back into the body from earlier. Maybe your jawline has clenched a little bit. Maybe your shoulders are closer to your ears. Just noticing it, and then, giving yourself permission, giving your muscles permission to relax a little bit. Using exhalation to find some relaxation is useful. So the inhalation brings a little bit of excess tension and space into whatever area, and then the exhalation allows for the muscles to let go ever so slightly. In our tradition, we meditate with our eyes open because we don't meditate to try to run away from the world, but we meditate to actually show up better and more present. So as a gesture of that, we meditate with our eyes open. So if that's attractive or compelling to you, I invite you to try meditating with your eyes open. When we meditate with our eyes open, we're not trying to focus on anything in particular. We just cast a wide gaze of relaxed eyes. So we'll share, Mary. We'll do, what am I missing here? The dedication. Oh, I don't see it. Okay. Oh, blessing. Okay. Oh, yeah. Blessing at the bottom, right here on the group practice prayer for anybody who has that. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. One, dedicate our merit to all sentient beings, but in particular today, for Angel O'Neill, Joanne Schneider and family, Otto McGregor, Bardo, Jay, Emily, Gardo Jackson and family. I'm sorry, I can't tell what the name is. Pat, Orlando, Bob, Jenny, Ed, Jackie, my brother, Augusto, Tina Turner, Jerry, all people affected by gun violence, Ann Sullivan, Michelle Coogan, Galena, Surabi, our Sangha, our teachers, all suffering animals, Nicholas Quink, Eric Stonefield, victims of oppression, and everybody who showed up today, too. And we'll chant the syllable Ah 3 times, and as we do Ah, first and foremost, we imagine light going from ourselves to ourselves, and then from ourselves to those in this room and with us online. From there to our city, to our country, to our world, to the universe. Really, I mean, depending on how your view of the universe is, the multiverse, and really everywhere that your imagination can reach, just imagine your light reaching them. Thank you very much for sharing your breath this morning with me and coming out. I have a few announcements. New 3-week Teaching Tuesday series titled Acceptance and Discernment, Enhancing Life and the Spiritual Practice will start June 6th, which I think it's not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. Yeah, I think the math works out there. You can register online at donmountain.org. For Don Mountain members, which is about $40 a month, which is not really much, but it helps our Sangha a lot. It's free. There will be also video recordings available, so it won't just be live. There will be a YouTube recording, and you'll be able to come back to it if you want to. And if you're a member, you always have access to that. And then starting on July 18th, we'll start another 3-week Teaching Tuesday titled Fresh Eyes on Green Tara. So I don't know the details of that, but I imagine that is working with Green Tara, the deity, and fresh eyes for it. Next Sunday, June 4th, is First Sagadawa, which is or First Sunday, which is when our teachers Ann and Harvey lead meditation, and it's also Sagadawa, which is so Sagadawa is a whole month or lunar month where the Buddha is said to have been born, enlightened, and passed. And Sunday is, I believe, the full moon, so we'll have a big anniversary birthday party for the Buddha from 10:30 to 11. Anna Harvey will be here, and we'll also have a special guest, Kaisu Kosiki. So. Sitting right there. Oh, hello. So please join us. It'll be we'll start at 10:30 and it'll go through noon. So it'll be great if you all can come. This will be in person or online. If you want to come in person, we'll be here. The address is 4916 Main Street, Suite 100. close to Midtown, Montrose area here in Houston. So please join us. And then July 15th and 22nd, in a collaboration with the Institute of Spirituality and Health and the Council of Recovery, we'll be hosting a class on bringing neurobiological and Buddhist views on craving, addiction, and recovery. This is really interesting. Details on our website as well. So donmountain.org.
So next Sunday, Kaisu will be talking about Eco-Dharma, the sacred sacrament of life.
Kaisu would be talking about Eco-Dharma, the sacred sacrament of life. That sounds pretty cool. So please join us.
It will be very cool. It can be cold.
Well, thank you. And I hope for all y'all in the United States that have a long weekend, continue to enjoy. And yeah, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you for everyone online. Great to see a crowd here. And
Thank
Jason.
you, Paulo, and everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good Sunday.
Thank
You
you.
too,
You too,
thanks.
Wendy.
Wendy, I am on the emailing list. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the newsletter.